In a world where people chase money like a parched traveler pursues a mirage in the desert only to find it slipping through their fingers, what if the real secret to wealth isn't in the numbers, but in the hidden corners of your mind? Imagine unlocking the doors to your financial psyche, where childhood memories, fears, and ambitions pull the strings on every dollar you spend or save. That's the electrifying journey we're embarking on today with The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, a book that shatters illusions and rebuilds your relationship with wealth from the ground up. If you're ready to rethink riches and transform your money mindset, hit that subscribe button on Mindfuel Audiobooks right now, and let's dive in together for insights that could change your life forever. This isn't your typical finance book filled with investment tips or stock market strategies. No, The Psychology of Money is a mirror held up to you, your behaviors, your decisions, your emotions, your upbringing, your environment, your fears, and your dreams. It reveals how all these elements subtly shape the way you handle money, often without you even realizing it. Prepare to question what true wealth means, understand why smart people make irrational financial choices, and discover that financial success isn't reserved for the cleverest minds, but for those with the greatest self-awareness and control over their impulses. This book isn't just words on a page, it's a reflection of your own financial soul. Buckle up because you're about to plunge deep into the depths of your money mind. Chapter 1. No one is completely rational when it comes to money. When we talk about money, our brains instantly conjure images of numbers: income, expenses, investments, returns, bank accounts, interest rates, and market theories. But from the very first page, author Morgan Housel pulls back the curtain on a startling truth. Money isn't just about digits, it's a precise mirror of human psychology. In this chapter, Housel shows us that people don't handle money like engineers wield tools or accountants balance budgets. Instead, they treat it like a child with a favorite toy, laced with complex emotions, past experiences, and stories woven from childhood or forged in crises. We don't act with pure objectivity, every financial decision, from a simple purchase to a massive investment, is filtered through an invisible psychological lens. Why does one person hoard cash under their pillow? Why does another buy a luxury car on a modest income? Why do some fear the stock market despite soaring profits, while others gamble their future on shady ventures? The answer is simple: experience trumps theory. Housel emphasizes that our money choices stem not from what we know we should do, but from what we've felt in the past. Someone raised in abundance might never grasp the fear of scarcity, while a survivor of an economic crash carries lifelong anxiety, even as a millionaire. Through tales of ordinary people with extraordinary money behaviors, like a man who stashed hundreds of thousands yet lived in poverty, haunted by childhood destitution, or another who lost his fortune chasing a friend's quick win, Housel reveals that money is emotion, memory, a reflection of fear, ambition, or buried complexes. You can't judge someone's financial actions from the outside. What seems foolish to you might be wise to them, born from painful lessons. The chapter's profound takeaway? To understand how people handle money, don't look at their bank statements. Examine their history, environment, childhood, and beliefs. There, in those details, lies the real reason for every financial choice. People don't act on pure logic, but on what feels logical to them, a tangled mix of experiences, fears, and hopes. There's no one-size-fits-all rule for managing money, just one truth: everyone sees money through their own unique lens. What you call wisdom, another might deem recklessness, and vice versa. In the end, no one deals with money in absolute rationality. No one. Chapter 2. Luck and Risk are two sides of the same coin, one of the most deceptive ideas in the world of Money is that success always comes from merit and failure from ignorance or stupidity. But in this chapter, Housel shouts down that myth and unveils a more honest face. Luck and risk are ever present, whether we see them or not. No financial success story is complete without acknowledging luck's role. Just as many failures can't be understood without grasping risk's impact. Housel hits us with a shocking example. Microsoft founder Bill Gates, an icon of intelligence, hard work, and vision, wouldn't have achieved his empire without sheer luck, being born into an environment with rare access to a personal computer in an era when most people couldn't dream of it. Was Gates a genius? Absolutely. Diligent? Without question. But lucky? Resoundingly, yes. Only 3 out of 300 million Americans had early computer access in the 1970s, and Gates was one of them. On the flip side, someone with equal smarts and drive might fade into obscurity without that golden opportunity. The point isn't to downplay effort, but to foster humility in understanding success or failure. Housel then dives into a sensitive truth. We amplify hard work and downplay chance because admitting luck's power makes us feel out of control, while merit stories give us the illusion of security. But reality crushes illusions. Life is full of probabilities, and money as part of life doesn't always follow a flawless plan. There's luck and timing in the people we meet, in the markets we enter, and in the opportunities we spot or miss. Chapter 3. No one is crazy. Every decision has its reasons in the financial world. You might look at others' actions and think, what madness is this? How could they invest there or spend like that? But Housel flips this perspective on its head in this profound chapter, telling us that what seems insane to you might be perfectly logical from their viewpoint. People aren't crazy. They act based on their experiences, beliefs, and environments. You see the world through your window of memories and past trials, shaping every money decision. But others gaze through entirely different panes. They grew up in contrasting economic climates, faced unique crises or booms, and drew financial concepts from experiences unlike yours. Take a simple example. Someone who lived through the Great Depression in the 1930s, witnessing market collapses, bank failures, and lost jobs, will remain ultra-cautious decades later, shunning risks and hoarding savings. In contrast, a person raised in prosperity, with rising markets and booming tech, will be more optimistic and bold. Neither is wrong. Each acts logically in light of their personal history. Housel says we all think and behave with money rationally based on our available information. But that info varies wildly from person to person, so stop quick judgments. What you see as a financial mistake might be hope, protection, fear, or survival for someone else. The big idea here: true understanding of money starts not with numbers, but with understanding people. When we grasp that everyone handles money through their own lens, we become more empathetic, less impulsive, and wiser in financial discussions. Chapter 4. The Hidden Power. We don't see compound interest. When people talk about wealth, they often highlight intelligence, luck, boldness, or market reading skills. But there's a simple yet profound secret that truly makes the long-term difference: compound interest. Picture planting a tiny seed that grows into a tree which produces hundreds more seeds, each sprouting new trees in an endless cycle. That's compounding in action. Most believe riches come from high returns, lucky strikes, or sporadic successful investments. But Housel reveals the real miracle lies in two basics: decent returns over a long time. We've all heard of history's greatest investors, but what we overlook is they started young and persisted for decades without interruption. Their key wasn't sky-high profits in one year, but steady investing over time, letting patience work its magic. The human mind struggles with compound growth. We grasp linear progress, step by step, but compounding starts slow, almost invisible, then explodes like a snowball, rolling down a mountain, growing with every turn. In money, that snowball is time, patience, and consistency. This means the greatest gift you can give yourself isn't the fastest or smartest investment, but enough time for yours to flourish. Keep playing the game, don't quit the ring, avoid breaking the compounding chain, or you'll lose the hidden magic that builds miracles. What sets financial winners apart isn't always superior intelligence, but granting time the chance to shine. Money is like a tree. You can't plant it today and harvest tomorrow. Water it, be patient, watch it grow slowly, then, suddenly, it's a forest. Housel's wisdom. Don't chase quick riches. Seek growth that evolves with you. Don't hunt instant profits. Plant quietly and persistently. The secret isn't winning big now, but enduring long without breaking the build or losing faith in time's power. Chapter 5. True wealth isn't what the eyes see. People stroll streets or scroll social media. They're dazzled by luxury cars, opulent homes, and globe-trotting lifestyles, assuming that's wealth. But Housel holds up an honest mirror. What you see isn't necessarily true riches. In fact, most real wealth is invisible, quiet, humble, unassuming, not flaunted on Instagram. True wealth is the money not spent, the smart choices made in secrecy, away from spotlights and showmanship. We judge by appearances. A pricey watch signals riches, but it might be bought on credit or drain savings. A sports car screams success, yet the driver could be drowning in debt. What we miss is the person driving an ordinary car with a robust investment portfolio, or the woman in simple clothes whose savings and investments yield monthly returns unnoticed. Silent wealth is the real deal. It doesn't need applause or shout its presence. It builds in the shadows, multiplies over time, and grants freedom and peace of mind. A huge mistake is measuring financial success by looks. Real money isn't what we buy, but what we keep. Not what we show, but what we plan and grow long term. Housel's strong message: if you want true wealth, stop comparing to others. Quit chasing things that make you look rich and start pursuing what makes you actually rich. That's not lavish spending, but the art of saving, financial awareness, discipline, and patience. In today's world, it's easy to be fooled by facades, but wisdom lies in distinguishing apparent wealth from the real thing. The former gets fleeting admiration. The latter delivers years of security and stability. Chapter 6. Be careful comparing your journey to others. In life, everyone has a unique path, history, and experiences unmatched by anyone else. Yet, we often fall into the trap of comparison, measuring our financial decisions against others and our success by their visible trappings. But what we don't see are the backgrounds, circumstances, and starting points that differ vastly. Housel stresses that the biggest money and investment mistakes stem from these superficial comparisons. You might see someone risk everything on crypto and strike it rich, then copy them, unaware they started with a small, disposable sum. Or read about an investor who sold all to buy specific stocks and follow suit, not knowing they have backup income streams. Comparison kills rational thinking because imitating others disconnects you from your own goals, starting point, and risk tolerance. Worse, mimicking someone mid-journey ignores the long road they traveled before. The key? Forge your path steadily, understand what suits you, and base decisions on what you have, not what you see in others. Every successful financial journey begins with self-understanding, not imitation. Chapter 7. Humility is the key to survival in the investment world. The world of money has no patience for arrogance. Those who think they're above mistakes fall fastest. Housel reminds us that the greatest investors admit they can err and prepare backup plans. Humility in money isn't fear. It's a deep grasp of market's nature and uncontrollable fluctuations. Financial success isn't always being right, but erring safely, so mistakes don't wipe you out. Humility builds cautious decisions, never risking more than you can afford. The humble investor thinks long-term, knowing money isn't won overnight. The arrogant chase lucky strikes, believing one win makes them rich, then get shocked by losses, as if unaware money comes and goes. Ultimately, humility shields from loss and grants inner peace. Accepting you're not superhuman makes you more realistic, adaptable, and growth-oriented. Chapter 8. Don't buy things to impress. People who don't care about you, one of the most painful truths in money is that many spend not on what makes them happy, but on what impresses others. They buy unneeded cars and clothes mismatched to their taste just for social acceptance. Housel puts it bluntly, we spend money we don't have on things we don't need to please people who don't care. The desire to appear impressive is a dangerous trap. You can't satisfy everyone, and more spending to look rich fuels the need to maintain the facade, turning you into a slave to your own image. True wisdom? Learn to spend on what delights you, not what wows crowds. Admiration fades, but your peace endures. Smart spending isn't about brands. It's about buying time, freedom, and financial security. Chapter 9. Wealth isn't built by equations, but by behavior. People think money management relies on smarts or number crunching. But Housel clarifies financial behavior trumps skill. How many geniuses lost fortunes to greed? How many simple folks built wealth through discipline and patience? Behavior means knowing when to spend or wait, controlling impulses, and thinking ahead. It views money as a tool for freedom, not ego-boosting. It includes saving, consistency, emotional control, and avoiding rash decisions. That's what separates crisis survivors from total losers. Financial success isn't measured by IQ, but by discipline. And that's encouraging, because behavior can be learned, practiced, and turned into habit day by day. Chapter 10. Build a margin of safety. Don't rely on luck. Life brims with surprises, and no matter your salary or profits, without a safety margin for emergencies, you're vulnerable. This buffer could be months of savings, diversified investments, or backup plans. Total reliance on predictions or luck is a recipe for failure. The future is unpredictable, and one mishap can destroy everything if unprepared. A margin of safety is that mental and financial space granting peace. You avoid pressured decisions, forced asset sales and downturns, or constant worry. Housel likens it to an umbrella in a storm, not needed daily, but essential when the skies open to prevent drowning. Chapter 11. You don't need to win every time to succeed in money and investing. We're haunted by the idea of total victory, being right every step, timing, and choice. But that's a false ideal. Housel assures us reality differs. You don't need constant correctness or wins in every deal. Succeed in a few big ways to offset failures. Think of Warren Buffett. Most investments were average or flops, but a handful of brilliant ones built his empire. Financial success is like sports, not scoring in every game, but in the ones that count. Markets fluctuate, info is incomplete, emotions rule, so expecting perpetual wins leads to failure and disappointment. What matters? Patience, repetition, and staying in the game long enough. The persistent win. Those craving every victory often quit at first loss. A top strategy: minimize losses and let profits grow. Don't swing for home runs every pitch. Just stay playing, protect from big hits, and let strengths compound. This means patience, not genius, builds wealth. A rational investor over years, even with imperfect picks, outpaces the quick gain chaser hopping opportunities without a plan. Chapter 12. Don't let wealth corrupt your decision-making. When money flows and results appear, everything can change. Wealth brings power, confidence, perhaps superiority. But Housel warns of this psychological trap many fall into, believing money makes you infallible. Actually, it doesn't shield from hubris. It might tempt bigger risks. Today's winner assumes tomorrow's guaranteed, thinking they know markets better, leading to unstudied, reckless choices. Many major financial collapses stemmed not from poverty, but sudden riches. Accumulating without maturity turns it into a burden, luring expansion, risks, borrowing, and unsustainable living. Wealth should be a means, not an end, requiring wisdom. Without financial awareness, it becomes a curse. Quick winners without understanding lose just as fast. Excess without balanced mindset enslaves you to money instead of mastering it. There's a big difference between being rich and financially free. The rich have lots of money. The free know how to manage it for peace, not stress, offering choices, not chains. Housel poses a key question. What's the point of money if it robs sleep, sparks conflicts, or forces principal compromises in an endless game? True wealth is inner clarity, seeing money as servant, not master. The top skill for growing wealth isn't investing. It's maintaining psychological balance, knowing when to stop, curb greed, view what you have with gratitude, not envy what's missing. Money offers many chances, but you need insight to choose wisely. Chapter 13. True wealth is invisible. In this deep chapter, Housel explodes one of society's biggest misconceptions. Wealth is measured by visible trappings: luxury cars, mansions, pricey clothes, exotic trips. But the truth? Real wealth hides. Apparent riches are one thing, true riches another. You might see someone in a lavish home drowning in debt, while another lives simply with overflowing accounts, growing assets, and utter peace. True wealth is what you don't see: unspent money, undisclosed investments, silent smart decisions. Society pushes us to care about others' views, but financial intelligence focuses on the unseen. Unspent money builds independence. Squandered cash, even abundant, doesn't last. Real riches mean saying no to fake opportunities, no need to prove yourself via money, avoiding comparison races, convincing yourself you're on the right path, not others. Silent wealth outpowers noisy riches. It means freedom, choices, security. Showmanship is consumption, a psychological and financial burden without end. The chapter's essence? Measure success not by what people see, but by invisible assets you build. Invest more than consume, save more than show. Understand the unsaid about money is often most important. Chapter 14. Be rich in flexibility, not just numbers. Housel spotlights a crucial yet rare concept in money talks: flexibility. Being rich isn't just heaps of cash, it's adapting to life, circumstances, opportunities. Financial flexibility means safety margins, decisions untied to one moment or income, diverse revenue sources, emergency buffers, always a plan B. Many rich live on the edge, high income, but totally dependent. No savings, no investments, no flex. When things shift or emergencies hit, their finances crumble. True riches let you refuse disliked work, weather crises, switch careers without collapse. Flexibility stems from humility and planning, realizing the world changes fast. Stability isn't rigidity, but adaptability. It requires conscious strategies, not luck. Build wealth on varied foundations: savings, investments, passive income, convertible skills. Relying on one source, even huge, is weakness, not strength. For balanced financial life, weave your safety net, not just on numbers, but maneuvering ability. Life's full of surprises. The flexible endure. Chapter 15. Happiness doesn't come from money. Alone in this philosophical chapter, Housel confronts an unsettling truth. Money alone doesn't bring happiness. Yes, it's vital for comfort and options, but not ultimate joy's source. Many chase wealth thinking its happiness is key, only to find disappointment upon arrival. Happiness isn't in your account balance, but how you view it. Money buys ease, but not inner tranquility if absent. You can buy a big house, but not family warmth. Travel beauties, but not clear conscience. Money's a tool, not goal. Turning it into one makes it a burden, never enough, an endless race. Housel notes happiest financially aren't richest, but those using money for fulfillment. Someone spending modestly to delight family or help needy often feels more at ease than a stingy billionaire lacking generosity or humility. True happiness is control, choosing freely, waking when you want, doing loved work, saying no fearlessly. Money aids, but doesn't guarantee. Bottom line, money's a great tool if you know its use, but won't grant joy without meaning, values, inner balance. Pursue wealth, yes, but don't forget pursuing real happiness along the way. Chapter 16. No one is without biases. Housel uncovers a major barrier to sound financial decisions: personal biases. He reminds us everyone views the world through their lens. What seems logical is a blend of experiences, fears, hopes, environment, past. We don't see money as is, but as we are. Raised poor? More cautious, wary, instability? Risk-ready? Lost on an investment? Opinion built on pain, not data. Biases aren't individual. They extend to culture, society, influenced by stories, proverbs, family talk, even movies and ads. The real danger isn't biases' existence, but ignoring them. Believing we're fully objective puts us at peak risk, blinding us to clashing facts. Solution isn't elimination, impossible, but recognition. Ask why you believe this, where fear comes from. Is it real experience or others' warnings? Understanding true motives frees you for decisions matching reality, not just past. Money deals in logic, not emotions, but we load it with ours. Awareness of biases is the first step to mature financial freedom. Chapter 17. Every generation lives in a different world. Housel draws a poignant comparison across generations, showing our money views shape not just from personal experiences, but the historical era we were born into. The Great Depression generation differs from the 1990s tech boom one. War and crisis survivors contrast with abundance raised. Each develops a unique money philosophy from era's events. One believes in extreme saving. Another sees no issue risking since life taught money renews. This creates generational communication gaps. Fathers misunderstand sons' money moves. Sons see dads as overly pessimistic. Both right from their angle. Housel urges not rejecting experiences, but respecting temporal differences. What was logical then might not be now, and vice versa. Financial advice isn't magic formula, but reinterpretation by context. What works in one environment could disaster another. Awareness of era differences frees from shallow comparisons, pushing decisions fitting our reality, not others. Every generation faces untried challenges and opportunities. Chapter 18. When success comes from patience, not genius. Housel illuminates a greatest wealth-building force, patience. Not just intelligence or luck, but quiet persistence over time. He explains simply, money's like a snowball. Let it roll undisturbed, it grows bigger. The biggest obstacle to wealth accumulation is rushing results. Many want quick riches, instant outcomes, pushing unwise risks, or early quits when profits lag, losing the game. But greats like Warren Buffett built fortunes not in years, but decades of steady investing, solid decisions, long patience. Housel stresses, wealth doesn't always need super genius, but exceptional patience. Let investments grow, endure swings, trust the process. Patient ones have competitive edge, patience is rare. Markets teem with quick-hit seekers, steady builders have higher outshine odds. Wisdom, make time your ally, not enemy. Understand great wealth comes not from one lucky call, but hundreds small right ones over disciplined years. Riches aren't a sprint, but marathon, and patient ones know how to win. Chapter 19. Money is a tool, not a goal. In this profound chapter, Housel redirects us to an overlooked truth. Money isn't an end itself, but a means, a tool for the life we want, not something chased blindly. From childhood, messages urge, accumulate, get rich, own more, without teaching the vital question, why? What do we truly want from this money? What dream life lies behind the effort? What feeling do we seek? Some want security. Others, freedom from jobs or unbound family living. Some seek respect or fill non-money voids. The dilemma, mixing means with ends, causes confusion. We chase money as happiness, instead of using it for fulfilling, peaceful lives. That's why many rich are unhappy, anxious, stressed. They never pause to ask, what do I really want? Housel affirms little money as means to balanced, calm life beats, abundant, earned, exhausted, scattered. True wisdom isn't how much you own, but how you use it. Does money grant more freedom or slavery? Bring you closer to loved ones or away? Increase personal time or steal it? These questions lead to conviction. Money's best use buys time, calm, true relationships, inner freedom. Money's the vehicle. You choose the destination. Realizing this shifts saving, spending, investing. You won't boast possessions, but what money lets you be. Free, calm, balanced person. Chapter 20. Psychology. First economic, second Money books typically dive into interest rates, market indices, saving methods, investment tools, economic models. But Morgan Housel flips the table, insisting it's not numbers making the difference in our financial lives, it's our minds and hearts. In this final chapter, he caps the intellectual and psychological money journey. The book began with money as reflection of mindset, ending the same. Psychology, understanding human nature, is financial success's foundation, not complex equations. Imagine two with identical incomes, same city, hard work, one stable, balanced, saving, secure, the other debt-drowned, stressed, hysterically chasing luxury. Difference, not circumstances, decisions. Decisions build not just on info, but mental state. Housel says if you can't manage emotions, you can't manage money, even if analysis genius. Successful investing isn't just buy, sell, know-how, but when to patience, resist temptation, ignore noise, control anxiety. This leads to a powerful message. You don't need to be smarter than others, just more balanced and stable. Money dislikes haste, panic, comparisons. It loves calm, patience, clear plans, long breath. True financial success happens not just in markets, but inside. Daily small decisions, habits, thinking, accepting. You might not need more buying, but contentment with what you have. Housel ties threads from prior chapters. Simple saving importance, long-term compounding power, greed's danger, luck's role, financial humility need, refusing comparisons, all flow into one river, self-understanding bases, money understanding. Your problem isn't investment ignorance, but behavior when markets scare. Not economic misunderstanding, but self over others. Solution, start inward journey. Know your values, what secures you, what you truly want from life. Build a tailored financial plan, not others. Think clearly, unpressured by social expectations, appearance obsession, or missing opportunity fear. At chapter's and book's end, Housel sums in a deep sentence. No one bears your financial decisions' results but you, so don't make them reflections of unlived lives. That phrase alone deserves framing over every bank account and portfolio. What a mind-expanding voyage through the psychology of money drawn from Morgan Housel's masterpiece. If these insights have sparked a fire in your financial thinking and inspired smarter choices, don't stop here. Subscribe to Mind Fuel Audiobooks for more deep dives into transformative books that fuel your mind and soul. Like this video if it resonated, share it with someone chasing their own money wisdom, and hit the bell for notifications so you never miss our next adventure. Remember, true wealth starts within. Keep fueling your mind, and we'll see you in the next one.